Hello and welcome back, everybody. My name is Self-Sabotaging, and I bring to you only the greatest and best tips to help you win your next pageant. So some of the things that I wanted to go over today was the concept or the idea of, are you self-sabotaging yourself in your pageant journey? So I'm just going to list out a few of the things that possibly you could be doing, or things that are happening around you and you really don't have a lot of control over that. And I wanted to help you identify those things and how you can prevent those things from hindering your chances of winning your next crown. Sorry if my audio is a little weird. My mic is acting up, so hopefully it does not sound too bad to you as the viewer. And of course, if you like the content that I share, please like and subscribe and share the video, share the knowledge, share the love. So already, again, it is a new year. It is going to be a new you in a new journey. So do not be afraid to start thinking more about how you can get an advantage in your pageant journey, right? There's always tons and tons of women out there who are ready to rock it on that pageant stage. And there's always ways to get to know yourself better, your environment better, to give you the best chance of winning your next crown. So let's jump right into it, and we can start diving in from there. Alrighty, so the first thing that you could be doing or could be happening around you that's sabotaging your chances of winning is you go into the pageant and then you start doubting yourself. So pageantry, part of it is a psychological warfare. So what does that mean? A lot of it has to do with your confidence and how you see yourself. So what does that mean? That means that if you go into the pageant with a positive attitude, you go into the pageant with a great mindset, and even when things get tough, you power through it. That's when you are mentally in the right space. But if you get into a pageant and as soon as you get into it, you see all these beautiful girls with you and you start doubting yourself, you start getting insecure about yourself, you start saying, you can't do this, maybe you made a mistake, you have nothing ready, you don't know what you were thinking, right? All of these self-doubt can add up to a big picture. And I've heard of plenty of stories. I don't know any girls personally, but I've heard of plenty of stories where girls would just drop out like flies because they saw the competition and they got very nervous, very anxious, and they dropped out. Or they got cold feet last minute and they made an excuse, and again, they dropped out. So this does happen in pageantry. Sometimes the thing that is holding you back is yourself when it comes to your insecurities, your self-doubt. When you go into a pageant, you do not have to have everything together, but it is best if, no matter what, if things get tough, if you tell yourself you're committed, right? You tell yourself you're committed no matter what happens, you are moving forward, and that is the best bet, okay? So that's one. The second thing is, if you have made the investment and the time to find a qualified pageant coach, some of the things that you may be doing is, are you taking your pageant coach's advice seriously? So what I mean by that is, when you go into a pageant, you invest in a pageant coach, please do your homework and take your pageant coach's advice seriously, no matter how strange or unusual it may be, right? Because sometimes the techniques that they're showing you is nothing that you will see on YouTube or on TV or mainstream media. It is the tricks of the trade. It is what makes pageant girls shine, right? Everyone knows about how the smiling technique, where you put a pencil in between your teeth and it helps you smile, right? Those are things that are not going to be taught to you in school, right? And it's kind of a strange technique, but those techniques are what is going to help you develop all of your physical muscle memories to make you the most presentable person. So please do take the advice from your pageant coach. If they are knowledgeable in what they do, you must trust them and trust the process. Usually when a pageant girl goes awry or something goes wrong or a pageant girl doesn't win, it's not because of the coach. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, Is it something I am doing? Is it something that I'm not listening to her, what she's saying, or I'm not taking her advice seriously, right? You must take your pageant coach's advice seriously when you are choosing clothing, you are choosing a talent, you are doing a speech a certain way, okay? Your pageant coach is there to help make you better. So trust is very important, and take their advice seriously. Another thing that you could be doing that could be sabotaging your chances of winning is putting your personal style into your clothing choices of your pageant journey, right? So there are trends come and go, right? Trends are always happening every season, every season, every year. There's a new clothing fashion trend, right, happening. It happens so quickly, right? Once one season something's in, another season something's out, right? So pageant trends are always changing, which means your personal style is always changing. So please do not mix your personal style and your personal choices with what, my hair is sticking up here, with what you should be doing in a pageant. So I'll give you an example. One of my favorite colors is this deep, rich forest green, right? That's just one of my favorite colors. But I know that just because it's one of my favorite colors, it doesn't mean I should go and get a deep forest green gown, right? Most of the time, pageant stages, very local pageant stages that are in pageants that are very small, they don't have the funding to dress up the stage, right? So most of the time, the pageant stage is very dark. So why would I put on a dark forest green dress if I want to win the crown, right? So just because my color preference is dark forest green does not mean you should go and do what you want to do in your pageant dress. You need to wear a pageant dress that fits your body style, that fits your silhouette, that's going to make you look like $1,000,000, right? So please do your homework, separate what is your style from what you should be doing and wearing appropriately on the stage or in the interview to make you shine, right? So please separate what's trending, what's your personal style from what you should be doing and wearing on the pageant stage. And sometimes they just do not mix, right? And it's nothing personal. It is just what's going to help you accelerate and accentuate your best features, okay? So the last little bit here is that you could be doing to self-sabotage yourself is having your team or being surrounded by people, pageant people, that are feeding you negative, not necessarily negative thoughts, but they are feeding you incorrect ideas, right? And this could be anyone. It could be in the most innocent people. It could be family, friends. It could be parents. It could be grandparents. It could be sponsors, whoever that looks like, right? So I'll give you an example, right? There's usually always the mom that is the pageant mom, right? And she's like, no, I want my daughter to wear this and this and that is too revealing, right? That's too much, like, or too much glam, or I don't think my daughter looks good in that. I know my daughter, right? So when you surround yourself with people like this, yes, you are excited about, their excitement for you, but please let your pageant coach do. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to go and something weird was happening with my camera. Anyways, so going back to what I was saying, please go ahead and do your due diligence and speak with the people that are on your team, your family members, your friends, that sometimes, yes, if they're overly, you are very happy that they're very supportive of you, but sometimes it may be best if they take a step back and let yourself and your coach, fumble through all of the weird stuff, right? And let you guys work in peace, really. Sometimes it's too much. Like, one great example of this is my mom. My mom was always, she had this habit of always butting in in relevance to everything, no matter what it was. My walk, my talk, my smile, my speech, like, she always had something to say, right? She was there just kind of hanging out in the background, but she would always say, oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's not good enough. Oh yeah, right? So, and that would add to my anxiety, my stress. So if you have a family member, and that's just one scenario, there's lots of scenarios out there, but if you have a family member that is excited for you, they're supporting you, but at the same time, they may be having adding more to your stress, pretty much, or they're constantly contradicting what the coach is telling you to do. Maybe it is best for you to have that a friend or family member to be mindful and really just take a step back and let your coach and yourself work on what you guys need to do, because it is good to have an exciting team with you. It is not so good if they're hindering your progress in your work. So you want to be able to have the best opportunities, right? And it's not going to be helpful when the your closest people to you are too overly excited, and this can cause an adverse effect of hindering your progress, right? And so the last thing I wanted to add in there is going into a pageant and not having the right support system. So what does that look like? When you go into a pageant, a lot of it is financial stuff, and a lot of it is having the right people on your team. So please, if you're just starting out new, this may not pertain to you as much, but please do your homework in advance and have a strong pageant team with you, have a strong mindset with you, and just have the right support with you, because having the right support and the right team will take you much, much further than just going into it cold turkey with nothing really. I have seen girls who were just last minute and they they're just frazzled on the day of the pageant, and you don't want that. And I've also seen girls who at the end of the pageant, they didn't have anybody supporting them whatsoever, and they were just sitting in the background crying. So it's very, very important for you guys to take your pageant journey seriously and get the right kind of support, the right kind of people on your team that will cheer you on. And that could really be anyone that has the best intentions for you. So I hope my advice here helped, and I hope I was able to give you guys some advice, some little tidbits to really help you not necessarily hinder your progress, but help you elevate your progress, right? Just some little things that you may or may not know you are doing or your teammates are doing that can be hindering your progress, right? And so hopefully it was helpful, and I'm so glad that you're here today, and I'm glad that you were able to take my advice and just go out there and rock that stage. You have nothing to be afraid of. I believe in you. All right, until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.